Alright guys, welcome to another Two Stupid Gamers video. I'm Nanners.
I'm Zero.
And we went to Play NYC 2022 this last weekend. We did want to talk about it, but this time we want to talk about it a little bit quicker. We're not going to want to do like another Comic-Con situation where the video ended up being over 40 minutes, so we'll try to keep this short.
Sorry about that, everyone. We promise we're not going to do that again.
Yeah, we'll try to be a little bit better about that in the future. But anyway, we did go to Play NYC. It was a very exciting time. And also thank you to Playcrafting for providing us with the press passes.
Yes, indeed. We're very grateful for those press passes, or as they call them, media passes. It really made our day. It made our whole weekend, as a matter of fact. It was a really great time at Play NYC, so we really appreciate everything Playcrafting has done for us.
Yeah, we like to take any kind of opportunity to, if we do get press passes, we want to make the most of it, and we certainly did. This time, it was only one day. It was in a new location. Side note, I really appreciated the lighting. The lighting was pretty good. It made filming very easy. But yeah, we did as much as we could. We played as many games as we could. We spoke to a bunch of people. And again, we wanted to kind of summarize it like we usually do with videos. When we go to events, we tend to make a video and talk about it. That's what we're here to do today. So Zero, why don't you tell us, why don't we start off with, how do you feel about this year's Play NYC?
I gotta say, Nanners, it was actually quite smaller than last year, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't jam-packed full of games. It was a much more intimate area, which I didn't necessarily have a problem with because we got to play a lot of games and we got to speak to a lot of developers. And of course, there was some free Red Bulls, so that's always good to see and have.
That's why Red Bull was one of the sponsors. And you can also catch all of those interviews. This year, we decided to kind of do each individual interview separately. That's kind of like a thing that we did with PAX East in 2020, and I feel like that's the strongest way to do one of our event style videos. So you'll be able to catch all of those interviews on the side in the separate videos. We did get to talk to several developers. So again, it was great to get to meet people. I think one of the strongest points of Play NYC is the fact that Playcrafting brings everyone together to show off their games, connect with potentially new audiences, of course, content creators like us, other developers too. And the strong point of it is that it's more of like an expo. This is not like a convention. Sometimes maybe somebody refers to that, but it's really not a convention. It's more of just an expo. It's laser focused about the games and showing off the games. And I think that really is the true value that Play NYC has, because then we're able to essentially spend time with these developers. We don't have all the distractions of there's also panels going on. There's other kind of like breakout rooms and breakaway areas. Those are nice things for conventions. But Play NYC steps up and gives us this kind of cool experience where you really get to go hands-on with these games, and also the developers are right there. They're very friendly, they're very warm, and you can speak with them all about their games. You can find out a lot more about what went into the process of making this game, what their inspiration was. So the model that Playcrafting uses for its Play NYC Expo is incredibly beneficial to that type of experience, to showing off these games. And we've certainly enjoyed all of the Play NYCs that we've been to. We've never really had any issues. The more I really think about it, it just makes me realize how important Play NYC is, and the fact that it's a shame that there isn't more, because we only had the 6 hours. But to me personally, I don't know about you, Zero, but we got so much done at Play NYC that I personally felt as if we had gotten maybe 3 to 4 conventions worth of work done at one 6-hour event. So again, that was mind-blowing, that we were able to do that much. Again, it really speaks to the true value of having something like Play NYC, and it begs the question like, if we just had more events like Play NYC throughout the year instead of just one time a year, or even outside of New York City, why not play New Jersey? Why not play Connecticut? Play Pennsylvania? But seriously, it really does show you how much value it is there to just go and meet some of these developers and really just start the process from there.
I gotta say, Nanners, I completely agree with you. It sucks that we only had the 6 hours, but we really did get a lot done. And as a creative, and I'm pretty sure you can agree with this as well, you'd be more than happy to talk about your work with people who are interested in it. Not to mention, they're gonna get a lot of feedback as well, because a lot of these games are still in development. A lot of them are not done yet. So having people from your community, from New York, because a lot of these developers are also New York based, having your peers come in and tell you, hey, this is good. Hey, I'm not sure about that. Hey, maybe you can do this or change that. That's valuable information. And also you're having a good time just speaking and showing off your game and just trying things out. I wish we had more opportunities. Like you said, yeah, we should have more Play NYCs. Other states should look at Play NYC and say, man, we should do that for here. We should do that for New Jersey. We should do that for God knows where. I also wish we had just more time at Play NYC. I'd be totally happy with having a total of like 2-3 days, like a regular expo or convention, because it would give us more time to play even more games. Also, some developers may not have the time to come for that one singular day. They might be able to come on a Sunday or maybe even a Friday afternoon. So I'm hoping it grows more so that we have more opportunities and more people, more developers actually have more opportunities to come in and show off their games too.
Yes, and I think that also kind of goes with where normally Play NYC would be around, I think initially it was in August, but then it situated itself around September. That for several years, that's when Play NYC was, about September. But now, I mean, if you look at the calendar, it's almost November. So it, for a while, seemed like we weren't even going to get a Play NYC. So like to just have it 2 months later than you expected, and it still came out and it was like a really strong showing, that again, it just speaks volumes. And also there was a bit of an update for this year's Play NYC as well, where at the event it was announced that Dan Buchko, who is the lead behind Play NYC, will actually be stepping down, not away from the organization necessarily, not away from organizing the event or assisting in organizing the event, but certainly not as the leader of the event anymore. So we may see some changes going forward, but he will still be there, and that's definitely very much appreciated. The hard work of putting together an event like this for like 5 years is, again, we certainly want to make sure that we do that call out.
Yes, indeed. He will be missed, but also not, because again, he's still there. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that if things start going like a way that it maybe is not supposed to go, he's just gonna go ahead and be like, guys, come on, let's keep it to where it needs to be. Let's make sure it stays true to what Play NYC is supposed to be. All right, now with all that out of the way, Nanners, talk to me, bro. What was your favorite game at Play NYC?
Okay, so my favorite game from Play NYC 2022 is, once again, is something that I enjoyed because of the experience. I went into Play NYC this year, admittedly, not completely aware of what was at the show. Usually I look up ahead of time. So I kind of just went in really, free, not really expecting anything in particular, because I wasn't sure what was going to be there. And it just so happened that they have a game that is loosely kind of it's loosely inspired by the Castlevania series. So if you guys know me and my history with Castlevania, that's pretty much tailor-made for me. I had to check it out, and I have to say I am very impressed. The way that the demo was set up for that was, it was kind of like 30 to 40 minutes of a demo. So there was a really long wait time, longer than I was kind of expecting. But let me tell you, it was worth it. And also, when they do those kind of longer demos, it really lets you get a good chunk of time with that game. So, as I've never heard of this game before, never really played it, played any demo of it or anything like that, giving me like 30 to 40 minutes of uninterrupted gameplay, I have a great idea of what to expect when this game finally does release. So Romancelvania is a Metroidvania, as the name implies, combined with, also as the name implies, a dating simulator. And it's the writing is quirky and it's interesting, and the Metroidvania mechanics are nice. They do feel very familiar to Bloodstained Ritual, which is pretty cool too. Again, I'm more of the OG Castlevania fan, but I'm always open to try Metroidvanias. There are certainly tons of Metroidvanias that I've been a fan of, so I gave it a shot. And yeah, like I said, I think they did a really cool job. One of the things about this game particularly is that you know, you might think that maybe this is just Castlevania, but, and then you would insert whatever the twist is. But here, the twist and the core Metroidvania kind of gameplay that we're all familiar with has been mixed together so well that you don't feel that. I'm not distracted by what it has to be compared to, because I'm just thinking about the experience that I'm getting, which is so bold and unique. So it doesn't even come to my mind. It stands on its own ground. And again, I mean, I was absolutely blown away. I was not expecting there to be a Castlevania type game there, and I certainly was not expecting it to leave such an impression on me. Side note, I will definitely be streaming this on my Twitch page at some point whenever it releases, so feel free to follow me on Twitch, and yeah, eventually when that comes out.
I gotta say, Nanners, when I first entered PlayNYC this year, it was one of the first booths that actually captured my eye. All I did was walk in, grab my media badge, start walking around while everybody was still setting up, and I looked to my left and boom, I see what my eyes thought was Castlevania, but then I saw, oh, Romancelvania. Yeah. All right, Nanners needs to play this. Like, the second he gets in, I'm gonna be like, go there, don't waste your time, just go there.
It's true, that's what he said.
Quite honestly, it's just kind of funny. You don't expect to see a game that you or even one of your friends is just going to be like, I recognize that. I need to play that. That looks super amazing. Holy crap. So I was excited for Nanners to try it. So I'm glad to hear that he enjoyed playing it and also speaking to the developers.
That's right, we did. We spoke with Deep End Games about the game. Once again, you can see that in the separate video, which should already be out by this point. Very great discussion. I felt like we really got to learn a lot more about the game and how it came to be. So I would certainly recommend checking that out. But that's my highlight of PlayNYC 2022. Zero, why don't you tell us about your highlight of the show?
Gladly. So my favorite game, I actually stumbled upon it. When I first entered PlayNYC, of course, I had to get the lay of the land. Nanners was still on his way, so I started walking around looking for games that just looked interesting. Right before Nanners showed up, I decided to walk over to closer towards the entrance. I saw a banner that said Big Boss or some sort of like boss battle game. And I said, I like fighting games. Let me check that out. And as I got closer, I saw a guy sitting there at the desk. His name is Adlan, by the way. And I'm just like, hey, so what's this Big Boss game? He's like, oh, no, I'm sharing this table. This is my game. And then I saw like a board on the floor that said Project Anomaly. And I said, wait, what? So I sat down, spoke to Adlan about the game, and I gotta say, I was drawn in. I wasn't expecting to be drawn into a game that's all about walking around these huge urban areas, taking pictures of mythical creatures. Those of you who know me, you'll know I'm a big fan of Pokemon Snap. That game, I don't know why it caught my attention. I don't know why I was so enthralled by that game, but I enjoyed Pokemon Snap. The idea of taking pictures of these creatures doing interesting things, it just interested me. I liked it. So when I grabbed the mouse and keyboard and started playing Project Anomaly, for some reason, I was thrown back to like the first time I played Pokemon Snap, except this time I'm not tied to an on-rails picture-taking adventure. I can go wherever the heck I want, and the whole game is not just about taking pictures, but you have to basically solve mysteries. Another thing that really compelled me to want to continue learning more about the game and playing it was the art style. If you guys look closely at the art style, I'll be overlaying a whole bunch of the footage and some of the visuals as well. You'll see that it looks like something a middle schooler or high schooler would draw. And then the colors are very vibrant and they have a really awesome retro aesthetic to it. The color palette is very retro. The way that everything's drawn is retro. It has this Y2K aesthetic to it. That's what Adlan told me. And again, it compelled me. It made me want to just stay in there and keep playing it. I felt like a kid detective looking for these awesome creatures that you could only see with this awesome camera called the Beholder. And not only can you take pictures of them and then also solve these mysteries and whatnot, you can even befriend some of these creatures. There's some quirky dialogue in there that makes you want to continue reading and want to continue interacting with these cryptids. There are some colorful characters that you'd have to be working with as well. And then of course the environment, it gives you a really awesome sort of New York, but also not New York feel as well. I didn't know I wanted a game like this until I tried it. And you know what? Adlan and his company, Dark Science Labs, they got something there. What I played was only 8 months of work, just 8 months, and I'm already interested. He's going to continue working on the game, and I'm hoping he really does, because I want this game to be completed. I want a full experience. I want to put that game on this channel. I want to play through that game. He does have a demo up. If you look, we'll probably put it in the description later on if you guys want to try it out. And also you can watch our interview with Adlan up here in the little tag that comes up, so you guys can see what it is we talked about. But yeah, that is my favorite game from Play NYC, and I can't wait to see more of it.
Yeah, me too. I'm definitely going to play it as well. I'm definitely going to check out the demo, since I didn't actually get to play it, but watching you, I saw essentially what the game is about and the aesthetics that you're talking about, and it definitely appealed to me as well. And 100%, I still agree with this when we were talking about it at the show, but Adlan, please make those Sasquatch stickers. I will buy 10 of them. That Sasquatch looks so cool. I want it on everything.
It's not called Sasquatch, it's called Bigfoot. That is Bigfoot.
Okay.
And no, I agree with you. The second I saw the footprint on the floor and then Bigfoot appearing in the Beholder, the camera, I said to myself, that is a definitive version of Bigfoot. I want that Bigfoot on on the sides of cars and stuff. Oh my god, I still think about that game. Like, it's been days since playing NYC, and I'm still like, man, I want to explore more of it. I gotta get that demo on my PC and just play it a bit more. And before we move on, I would hate myself if I didn't at least mention this, because we did not get to make a video about this while we were at Play NYC. We just didn't have enough time. But there was an arcade game that I was addicted to, and Nanners can back me up on this. The game is stupid, but stupid in the best way. So, the game I'm talking about is called Scrapeboard. Scrapeboard is basically DDR if it was mixed with a skateboarding arcade game. The idea of Scrapeboard is that you get on top of a real skateboard with some metal padding on the bottom, and you put it on top of a board that has these resistors or some sort of contact points on each corner of the square board. You then have to shimmy and scrape your skateboard to hit a combination of two corners to match what's being shown on the screen. Now, you play as a sort of lizard person. I have a sticker of that lizard person right over here. This is your character.
As do I.
And the idea is, if he goes diagonal towards the right, or diagonal towards the left, or just both corners on the bottom, both corners on the top, or vice versa, any which way, you have to match the movement he's doing in order to fight the boss. This is a boss battle, not rhythm, but some sort of like boss battle skateboard positioning arcade game, and I love it. It's so dumb looking. It looks like some kid from elementary school drew everything on MS Paint and then took back like real life pictures of like some sort of school, like the back of a school or like at the back of a store or whatever, using a fisheye lens and cutting up pictures of like anime characters and putting them in the background and whatnot. It's so surreal. It's something you would look at on a computer screen and say, what is this crap? But then you see it animated and moving in a game. Hell, you get one of the bosses is the Kool-Aid Man. How do you not want to play that? It blows my mind that something like this exists, and I was addicted to it. I had to keep playing it, and it's tough, but it's fun. And they're actually going to be at MagFest, and I can't wait to play it there.
Yeah, so I didn't get to play it. Maybe I'll get to play it at MagFest, but it definitely was one of the most unique games. I mean, you have to have a very specific setup for it. So, yeah, I think I would say, without a doubt, Scrapeboard probably the most unique game at the show for sure. I watched Zero play a lot of it that day, so definitely.
I wish you had filmed me. I wish you had filmed me playing it.
I did film you.
Oh shit! Okay, good, awesome. We'll
just on my phone.
Send it. We'll put it in the video.
The New York City Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment is actually starting to sponsor game development as part of the Made in NY initiative, which was one of the main sponsors of the show. They did have some representatives there. They gave a very nice presentation and just kind of talking about how important the different types of media are for New York, and for the economy, for the culture, and how they want to make sure that that video games play a big part in that, because they do play a big part in that. So it was also, again, very important, as one of those big sponsors was at the show, was just talking to us specifically about, you know, their contribution, how they want to play a bigger role going forward with Play NYC. I'm sure we'll see lots of benefit to the show going forward as a result of that. We'll see. I'm sure we'll see that the show will just continue to grow, and it will certainly benefit from the partnership with the Made in NY initiative.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to it.
So that's it. That's going to be Play NYC 2022. We have another show in the books. I think this year was certainly fascinating, very, very productive for us as a YouTube channel. I think everyone that we met here was awesome, and we can't wait to check out some of their games. You will be seeing those videos uploaded separately, as we had mentioned, the one-on-one interviews with the developers. Those videos contain links, so if you do like what you see, definitely make sure to go follow those companies, go follow those games, wishlist them on Steam. You know, I mean, this is what this event is specifically for, is that we can support each other. We can support really cool developers with really interesting ideas that you're not really going to see in the AAA. So definitely go check those out. We hope that you enjoy it. We also real quick want to shout out once again as well, Playcrafting, for providing us with the passes so that we can get in and get into the show. Also be able to, you know, just chat with everybody. It's something that they've continued to do for us, and we really appreciate, as it's an incredible opportunity for the channel. I don't know about you, Zero. I'm sure you agree, but I really feel like, especially after this year, this event is exactly where we want to be as a channel, as Two Stupid Gamers, because we can really just cultivate some great content and meet some incredible people and play some amazing games.
Dude, you're practically reading my mind, all right? We might as well just sew our brains together, because I agree. This event feels like home to me. I want more of Play NYC. I want to be able to do more of that. I want to talk to developers. I want to try new games. I want to comment on games. I want to play it with them. I want to talk to them more. Like, I want to do more of that. So I completely agree. And once again, I'm hoping that Play NYC just continues to grow, and then we get more opportunities to talk to developers and play their games.
Absolutely, and that feedback is so important, and we would appreciate your feedback. What did you think about this video? Did you get to watch any of the interviews that we did? What did you think of those videos? Definitely let us know in the comments below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe as well.
And be sure to stay tuned for more awesome content. We're going to keep going to conventions and keep giving you guys awesome things to watch. So stay tuned. We'll see you next time.
Bye.